Tonight we have our nonprofits on, and then we also have the council agenda if anybody want to touch on that. And so and I would be remiss. One of our distinguished guests from the northern region is here visiting us, as she is particularly dealing with her family right now, one Miss Doritha Scott, and she turned 75 years old today. Can we all get to join in and sing happy birthday to our distinguished guest?
Absolutely. What's her name again?
Doritha Scott.
Okay. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Oh, okay. And many more, Miss Dorothy Scott.
We're gonna need y'all to choir rehearsal on time next time, okay? So just we need to bring it in on cue and on key, okay? and then we're gonna Tamiko, General Leverett, Facts to Thrive. Go ahead. Tamiko? Then she's gonna have to jump off and go be with the family.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for letting me get on tonight.
Oh, hey, Tamiko.
Hey, it's pretty dark, so I don't think y'all can see me.
Oh, no.
Tamiko, how are you?
Miles. Use the right lanes to take exit.
How are you, Tamiko?
To 166.
I'm doing just fine. That's Mr. Frank. How y'all tonight?
Good.
Still on the fastest route.
Yeah, I'll join in. Y'all can start. I'll join in a second, but y'all can start, and I'll come back in later. I don't want to go first. But I hope everybody's having an awesome day and had a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
How many people is coming up with Thanksgiving recipes?
You know what though, Tamiko, I just want everybody to know I appreciate Tamiko because I had an issue last week, right? And I'm computer literate, to a certain degree, but Tamiko is way level, like up here. And I'm gonna look, I'm down here. So call Tamiko, and within minutes, this girl was able to help me with like 3 different types of downloads that I probably can't do again by myself. I got to get some more practice, okay? So I just wanted everybody to know and want you to know, Tamiko, I appreciate you, girl. You really helped me out last week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you.
We just here to help each other. I mean,
yes, honey.
It's hard. People are making it hard, but it's not hard to help each other.
Yeah, that's right. You sure helped me.
And that's the point of tonight. Tonight is tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. So for those of you who don't understand what Giving Tuesday is, you have Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and then Giving Tuesday. So Giving Tuesday is a big push to have individuals, companies, everybody give something back to the organizations that support our community, help us make it where we want. Although people don't see a lot of homeless on this side of town, we do have homelessness, and homelessness includes living in these hotels off of Shannon Parkway, Flat Shoals, and 85, Godby, in the woods on Old National. We do have homelessness in our area, and we have different organizations We have organizations that are trying to help with that effort, including mine, Facts to Thrive. We were one of the only organizations to get a grant to help with homelessness in this area, specifically South Fulton. So we are trying to assist 18 to 24-year-olds between now and December 31st. We still have funds, but we don't have a lot of people who have applied for assistance. I'm going to post the flyer and a link to apply. If there is someone who is out there between 18 and 24 that needs help, please have them fill out the application to apply for assistance. I don't know if some of the confusion is the fact that people don't realize sleeping on other people's houses and couches, that's still homeless. That's called couch surfing. There is people who are, I guess, trying to keep some of their pride, but we want them to keep their pride. We want them to be have more pride when we help them with some kind of housing or assistance. So please let them know. Almost everybody goes to a church that somebody knows somebody who needs help. People go to work, somebody knows somebody who needs help. The councilman said in a council meeting that we were helping them, and somebody came up to us after a council meeting. So you don't know who it is that needs the help. You just have to put it out there. Post a flyer on your social media if you can. And you don't have to ask somebody if they're homeless. Just ask them to pass the information on, share it, move it around. You don't know who it is. Even if there is a family, as long as somebody in the age group between 18 to 24 applies, that still counts. The applicant just has to be in that age group. And so that's one of our programs. We have a CPR program that we work with Miss Mumford. If any of you know who Miss Mumford is, her and her daughter Janae teach free CPR classes up at Burdette Gym. We were doing this year the computer classes for the senior citizens. Some of them are on this call. We have done the business plan classes, financial literacy. So we have several programs that we try to assist on the needs of the community. We are, as you can see, we had the summer jobs this summer for the teens. So we are asking on Giving Tuesday to make a donation to Facts to Thrive to help us continue with those programs, because we can't do it without the support of the community. So we just ask that you give a donation of any amount. And even if it's not financial and you want to give your time, we'll take time. We just want help to help our community. So that's my big pitch for us.
Well stated, Tamiko. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tamiko. And you know what? I was just saying today when I went out, might have been yesterday, I got mixed up. But, I looked and, I went to pick up my sister's prescription. Oh, it must have been Saturday. So I saw some people laying on the ground at Walgreens. And that was kind of shocking to me. And I said, wow, we got homeless people out here at Walgreens on the ground in front of the store. Now, I don't know how long they're going to be able to stay there. And then I went a little further, and those hotels are there, just like you're saying, Tamiko, and that's where people be living. But you come down just a little further, and there's a tent out on the ground out there, and then you go a little further, you see some other people laying around. So the homeless are here. Some people may say they don't see them, but they there. And Walmart. So you're absolutely right, Tamiko.
We had a case that a young man who was camped out on Fairwood Road. Start off as one day, then he was trying to stay out there for a whole week, same place. And so, yeah, it's real. And then just go down to the Chevron over at the corner of Flat Shoals and Highway 279, aka Old National Highway, and they're camped out there all day. And matter of fact, I think that with the community policing, they got together and gave them socks one year. So if y'all have an extra pair of socks, just give it to a person that see you on the street. as they appreciate it more than you know. And Mr. Bryant, you're gonna be up next, sir. As tell them about your organization, and then tell them also too about the gala that you had, and then how can we be participants of the gala for next year?
Okay, all right. So, well, first of all, thank you. Now, I was listening. I think my wife was sharing some of the things with our foundation. I thought I heard her voice. Okay, well, what we do primarily is focus on cultural awareness for kids. So we every year, typically the first 2 weeks in June, we have a summer camp for the children, and it's usually from age 6 to 17 years old. The first year we did it, we had it in Fairburn. We literally didn't charge anything, but $25 application fee. So we wound up with about 50 parents because, you know, when you charge more, they start showing up. Last year, well, this year we charged $80 for 2 weeks, and they showed up. That $80 included snacks, lunch, snacks to take home. It also included them. We took them to Chick-fil-A on Buffeton, to tour Chick-fil-A headquarters. We also took them to the Delta Flight Museum. After the Delta Flight Museum, we fed them at the Dwarf House and all. Now, all this for $80. We also had different speakers to come in, painters to come in, flight attendants to come in. We actually showed them flight simulators and so forth for the pilots and whatnot. So they will come in about 7:30 in the morning, and they're there to like 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday, 2 weeks. We do this every year, and we have in our third one the first 2 weeks of June. I mean, it is phenomenal. Now, one of the things that we had that helped us raise money in order to pay for these kids and get the food and all was our first annual gala. Our gala, we had Bishop Paul Moore in there. He sung Let It Rain, and he gave some words of wisdom. Our host was Palmer Williams Jr., Floyd on House of Pain. And then, of course, we had a lot of dignitaries and politicians, and you know, which was cool. But the politician couldn't make it that night, and that was Corey A. Reeves. So, you know, that was all good because, you know, he actually made a contribution to the foundation as well. So we do that, and then in addition to focusing on the kids and so forth, just recently, and we do this every Columbus Day. Well, I don't think, you know, I don't really celebrate Columbus Day. So since the kids are usually out of school, that Monday, we take the kids to a restaurant that is different than just having hamburgers and hot dog, and teach them different culture. So we took them to Imperial Fairs, which used to be in Buckhead, which now moved outside of Duluth in Berkeley Lakes. We took them there. They did the belly dancing. They feed them the couscous, the lamb, and all. And we took care of all of that and all. Another thing that we are contemplating doing, that, and yes, in addition to that, we give scholarships to 2 high schools. We do Tri-Cities and we do Mara High School. Now, because Banneker is now outside of this, I'm an education committee chair for the 100 Black Men of South Metro. And I added Banneker into our school because some of their students went to our camp. So we probably start adding them to add scholarships there too. So we're trying to focus on giving these kids scholarships and what have you. And we present the scholarship during the gala. And guess what? We try to be a little different, Brother Reed. Instead of having fish and chicken at the gala, we had oxtails, jerk chicken, and some other stuff, plain beans, peas and rice. We wanted to be different a little bit. And also, it was a phenomenal event. And now, every year, we would have a gala on Memorial Day weekend. Some people will leave and go out of town, but there are some people that's going to stay in town and say, you know what? I want to save my money and see what's going on locally. So we'll have it that Saturday, typically from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. every Memorial Day weekend, Saturday before Memorial Day. And it's going to be a phenomenal event. So we're looking at some powerful headliners and all to draw some people there, because when you get there, you'll see our kids putting on their band from Tri-City, from Morrow, and all. We want to showcase the kids. It ain't about them politicians getting up there and talking. The only politician that would have had that would have been Corey Reeves. But since he wasn't there, none of the other politicians could do anything but write checks and say hello. That's basically it in a nutshell, Brother Reeves.
One more thing,
Yeah.
Minister Bryant, if I may. This is Gwen Bryant. I am so excited that you all have given us this platform and opportunity to share with you. We also want you to know that with our scholarships, they are for 2-year or 4-year institutions. Students don't have to go to a 4-year institution. It could be accepted at a technical school or a trade to further the certification that they receive at school. And we also provide drone flight training for our students at the summer camp. They were able to participate in that as well. And they actually were able to fly their own drones that were provided. And they were also able to create their own artwork. So we have a little something for everyone. Their students were allowed to paint.
And there's one thing I forgot. So these kids came to the camp, and we decided last year we did a contest, but this year I decided to create a Shark Tank with these kids. So we got them to pick teams and all, and some of our colleagues said, "Isn't that a little difficult?" So what it was, our theme was aviation. So what I did, I created a Shark Tank where they had to come up with, well, the scenario was that the airport, Atlanta airport, was going to be either attacked by cyber attacks, or some type of threat. And they had to create some type of technology to either mitigate or alleviate the threat of this cybersecurity attack for the airport. Now, when they started off, some of them couldn't even write a PowerPoint, but when it was over with, it was rocking. So we wound up giving monies to each team member. Each team member had 3 in a team, and we would give them hints and so forth throughout the 2 weeks. And that was like the highlight, to have the Shark Tank. And it was phenomenal. And one of the kids was kind of shy and all when he got there. And before it was over with, he was one of the leaders. They came in second place with the scholarship recipient for the Shark Tank. It was phenomenal. So, our goal at our Florida Gwendolyn Bryant Foundation is to go in our community, help our kids, elevate them, build their self-confidence and all, and show them that they can do and become what they see. So we brought in doctors and all kinds of people that spoke to the kids and so forth with information. We even had people drive down from South Carolina and all, because they really, really dedicated in trying to help our kids.
That's awesome. And see, when we talk about Giving Tuesday, that's why we bring our local nonprofits here. It makes a direct impact on people you see each and every day. And you have to call me out like that, Mr. Brown, though, but it's all good. I could take that evening out there, but I said I promise to be at the next one. So it's a conflict. But however, as a great work that you and your organization are doing and continue to do, particularly giving young people a career opportunity in the trade aspect, not just from a career standpoint, but also to entrepreneurial. And so we thank you for that, as y'all the true heroes of the community. And let's keep moving forward. And so
thank you so much.
Do you have your website link people can give to you tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, all they got to do, if they want to, they can just text the word give, GIVE, to 844-337-1110. And that's a tax deductible donation, 100% tax deductible. Just text the word give, and we use that because so many people use their phone. So just GIVE, text that to 844-337-1110.
Awesome. And if one of you or your stewards can drop that in the chat, that'd be great.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. So, and I'm going to move on to our newest or more recent nonprofit, because food is medicine, Rooted Affirmations. Miss Sandra, go ahead and tell them what you're about.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Let me see if so you can see my face at least. I'm in the kitchen right now. I'm Chandra Simmons. My nonprofit is Rooted Affirmations. I am an urban farmer here in the city of South Fulton in the Great District of number 5. So Corey Reeves is my councilman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I grow food via an aquaponic setup. I officially started last year. Met Councilman Reeves and was talking about the fact that we're in a food desert community and how I wanted to be a part of a growing initiative of community members learning how and truly growing their own crops, being able to feed themselves with naturally grown food from their own hands, or supporting members within the community whom are doing so, and also being able to provide food to the community. So I have been active within our great city here, partnering, my way of partnering. And by doing so, I mean, I see Jacob Healing Hands, number 1, would be on the scene. And whereas I would want to set up and donate or sell, when I see them, I just go ahead and say, you know what, add mine to the pot. Let's go ahead and help feed community members here. And what I grow is from these hands. No pesticides, no herbicides, grown with love and respect, not only of myself, but my ancestors. So it's beautiful for me. This is not what pays the bills, but it's what I'm passionate about. I am truly passionate about it. I have a nice size setup in my backyard, but you guys want to check out my website. The name of the website is called rootedaffirmations.com. And I will put it in the chat. Please go to it. Tell me what you think. There's also a link to donate if you so choose. And thank you in advance to those who do and do not. I appreciate you taking the time to check out my website, and every picture there is a food that I have grown in my garden. So thank you again, Councilman, for the opportunity here. And thank you to everyone on the call whom are in earshot of my voice right now. Thank you.
Absolutely. So appreciate you, Sandra. Who else do we have on here? Let's see here. If you have a nonprofit, just raise your hand. That service is here.
Swim is on.
Swim
Hey,
Foundation.
how you doing? I am. I was trying to get to the mute button.
Hey,
How you
absolutely.
doing?
Best day of my life. Well, look here. Go ahead and tell us about your organization.
Yes. We have a supportive housing organization in College Park. We do housing. We rehabilitate ladies that is coming out of prison who are unsheltered. So we work with formerly incarcerated homeless women. We help them find jobs and help with economic development. We also provide food, shelter. We help them get their demographics. A lot of them, you know, they've been incarcerated for some time, so they've lost everything. We help them reunification with their kids. Some of them can, and you know, some of them cannot. But we help them get back with their families and pretty much just support them in whichever ways that we can. We meet them where they are. Everyone needs something different. So we assess them when they're released from incarceration to identify exactly what wraparound services that they need. And we provide some wraparound services actually at the home. We do programming. Depends on what their requirements are with probation and parole. Some of them have different requirements, and some of the services can be actually done at the house. We have case managers that come out, the officers come out, the supervision officers that come out and check on them. We have counselors, different peer mentors, and we actually have one of the parole and probation officers on our board. So we try to meet the ladies where they are and get them back into society, welcome them home with packets, different types of, all types of gifts, all kind of gifts. They just overwhelmed with different gifts. We get a lot of donations that come into the home. And so we just welcome them back home and try to keep them from going back into incarceration, because I think out of about 30 of them, maybe I think 2 has recidivism. So we are proud to say that out of about 30, 28 has been successful. You know, so they all are working right now. 4 of them have secured their own permanent housing so far. So we're also proud of that. So if anyone would like to do a site visit, I'll put my information in the chat where you can get in contact with me.
Hey, I would also like to introduce you to a good friend of mine that has a nonprofit called The Lunch Pad. His name is Kenny Hill. And the Lunch Pad, what he does, he get homeless women and he give them housing. He actually purchased the housing for them and then teach them the literacy and all. And there's one woman that just moved up. She finished Georgia State. They helped her, and they also got her a job. She's teaching in the school system. So you need to meet Kenny Hill. Yes, she went from homeless to now, you know, she's working for, I believe it's Clayton County Schools. But, you know, his name is Kenny Hill. I'm going to put my email in the chat too.
Okay.
So reach out. I think this is incredible. And, you know, thank God for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Mr. Bryant, this is Chandra again. Kiki is being so modest right now with Swim. I have done a site visit. The place is fantastic. The ladies there, it's like a freaking family. It's like an absolute awesome family. So I've met the women there. They love on each other. They respect each other. The home is clean. The home is safe, and they take care of it. So when she says it's a support system, she really means it. I witnessed it. I absolutely witnessed it. And these women are not relatives, but man, you'd never know it. You'd never know it. So Kiki, I had to kind of throw you under the bus there a little bit for being as modest as I sometimes am. And I had to call you out because you are doing it, sister. You are really doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I thank you for coming over and doing what you did for us.
Hey,
that is awesome.
Stuff over there, and they have went in with their money and bought raised beds, Miss Chandra.
Beautiful. So I need to come back out there. That's what you're saying. And I will.
Yeah.
coordinate. So yeah.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, they waiting on you.
I
Hey,
can co-sign on swim as well. We are actually helping some of the ladies over there as well from Facts to Thrive with the funding. So we appreciate that she is willing to be part of our community. She stays, the house is right off of Stonewall Tail. She's again being prideful, but modest, not prideful, modest. But she just started that house this year. So definitely we gotta support the people in the community trying to make a difference.
absolutely.
And Mr.
Hey,
Bryant
oh.
has given supported Facts to Thrive as well with our entrepreneurship program. So we are not nonprofits that like are fighting against each other. We all try to help each other. Rooted Affirmations came out with us to hand out food at Camelot last week. So just know that we're all telling you what we are doing, but we'll take assistance or help or donations. We're not competing against each other. We're just letting you know what we are doing in your community and asking you to support us.
Awesome.
And you can also support by giving up of your time. And to them 11, 12th graders, 9th and 10, you can utilize them too because they all have to have community service hours. So don't be afraid to ask them as put these young people to volunteer, as that's one of the greatest things you can do. So because everybody needs a little extra hand. Awesome.
Great. Hey, Councilman Reed, real quick. A question to Mr. Bryant. He might can't answer this since he was responding about his friend. He stated that his friend buys the homes and for the women. So how does that work?
Okay, so basically what he does, and I'm aware of a lot of it because I work hand in hand with him a lot of times. He would actually, they have to qualify, and qualify me actually being homeless. And when I say homeless, extended stay hotel, in a car, moving, staying with friends for different nights, and they have kids, but they are single women and all, and of course don't have mental illness. They just have a bad situation. But you know, they're coachable, they're willing to learn and so forth, because they teach these ladies, you know, to go ahead and get their GED if necessary. If they want to persevere and go to college, they help them with that. Or if they want to go to trade school and so forth. But he buys the actual property and allow them to stay in that property. I think it's at least a year and a half. And so as they gradually move them, you know, to up the ladder, try to get them a job and so forth. But they gotta put their skin in it and all. But he does a lot of that. He's a very prominent person, married to
they paying rent?
doctor.
Do they pay rent? Like,
no, they don't pay. They don't pay. I don't think they pay rent the first year.
They pay up. They don't pay rent the first year, and what they have to do is go through classes on Saturdays, and they have to show up and participate in the classes. They take them through that financial literacy piece. And then after they have completed that piece, while they're doing that for that year, they're helping them reestablish their credit and helping them get reestablished in the community. So when he buys the homes are not owned by the women. He will help them get their own home. He has homes through Launchpad that he allows families to stay in. And once they stay there and get up on their feet and they begin to make an investment back into themselves, they take a portion of that that they're paying and they help them with that to reestablish themselves back in the community. So it's a process that they go through.
Okay, thank you all.
So that's awesome, Launchpad. And so I have a couple of questions, but I'll just save that for another time.
And Corey, you know, Kenny Hill, he's one of our brothers too with the 100 Black Men. But he also, the last term, he ran for Atlanta mayor too. He was one of those guys that ran for mayor.
I thought I heard that name right.
Yep, yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so
Good guy, good, powerful man of God.
absolutely, that's awesome. I love the connectivity here, as this is what it's about right here, because this is how you reach the people. This is how you reach the needs of the community through these organizations, because they get down in the trenches. And so, who else do we have on here that has a nonprofit? Anybody else?
I'm here, Brother Corey Reeves.
Is this Alta?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Mr. Brother Johnny Clark, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing quite well, sir. I have no complaints. As long as I'm alive, I have no reason to complain.
Absolutely. One of our most prominent citizens here. Go ahead and tell them about your organization, Mr. Clark.
Give you all a little background on my organization. I'll show my face as well. I'm not ashamed of how I look today. Now tomorrow might be a different day. But my program has been in existence for almost 20 years now. I have a boys AAU basketball program that I started about 20 years ago. I don't take the top-notch boys. I get a lot of boys that basically they may not get the looks or have the knowledge on how to get where they need to get to basically be seen in college. We travel a little bit. I hold a life lessons class once a month where I bring not only prominent Black men, but just positive Black men in to come and speak to the boys. Try to get them in at least 15 minutes because I know these are young men, teenagers, and some younger than that. Anything past 15 minutes, all the thing they hear is want walk, want walk, want walk. That's it. So, I'm proud to say I've received a couple of proclamations, one from the city of South Fulton and one from the city of Atlanta regarding my program. So, we just try to do positive things. Every year I hold a cook-off here at my house where the boys have to cook hamburgers and whoever wins $200. So, they try to teach them how to grill. I think I can do it a little bit. I'm not the best at it, but I think I can do a little something. So, just trying to pass the knowledge on, man, and make sure these boys stay positive. That you have to remember, a lot of these boys are not going to want to go to college, but that doesn't mean that you cannot be successful. So that's my main thing. I want to make them understand. Yeah, I want you to go to college. I got a number of them that's gone to college. Got a number of them that's gone to trade school. About to probably have my first one to go into the NBA next year. He's down at the University of Miami. This is his last year there. So just trying to keep the boys on a positive path. And I try to reach out to men more so than anything, especially men who have daughters, because we have to understand, if you all you want to do is sit back and complain, these boys doing that, these boys doing that, and you got a daughter, your daughter may start to like one of those boys. So why not put time in to try to put him on the right path? And hey, you're probably doing your thing you need to do with your daughter, but this young man, even though he's not your son, you're teaching him some positive things just in case your daughter run across him and he run across your daughter. So, just try to keep it positive and keep the neighborhood going, because most of the boys that I have come from the neighborhood. Of course, I get some boys that come from out of town, but like I said, these are boys that that not necessarily get looks. Matter of fact, I just took 4 or 5 of them. We went down to Morehouse to watch one of my kids that's at Livingston College play during this HBCU little All-Star game they had last weekend. So I took about 4 of them down there and introduced them to the coaches that I knew down there. College coaches, they need to see faces sometime and put a name with a face, because they may not even know anything about these boys, and unless somebody brings it to their attention. So that's what I try to do, is just bring it to their attention. And that's enough for me. Because Corey know me, I talk all night about my program, man.
Well, I tell you, Brother Johnny, if you run across any of your kids that are adamant about going to law school, we have a program through the 100 that we can, as long as he got a 3.5 average, we can send them to Drake University in Iowa, and they pay for everything, the entire full ride.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
definitely
full
good
ride.
to know. And my uncle, who's my attorney, is actually a part of 100 Black Men. I don't know if you heard of Richard Sinkfield.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's my uncle. So, and he's my attorney. So, yeah, I know he's a part of 100 Black Men. So
Good.
that,
Yeah,
that's good. That's good to
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Sure.
Reach out if you got someone there, and of course, you know, we in our foundation and all, we give scholarship, you know, not just to those that are seeking college, but for trade schools. You know, I know a lot of plumbers and HVACs and all that that's making good money. So, you know, some people ain't just, everybody don't want to go to college. You know, some people want to spend a year, get a certification, and make a living. So, you know, either
Exactly.
way, we support them.
Exactly. And that's the main thing that they need. I need support. I posted the other day a young man that played for me that stayed next door to me. I'm so proud of him. He graduated from Banneker last year. His mom got him on at UPS, and he's been working UPS a year, and he finally bought his first vehicle a few days ago, and he told me proudly, Coach, I just got promoted. So, hey, and I had a young guy that graduated me from high school to come in and speak with him because he did the same thing straight out of high school, went working UPS and retired at 32 years old from UPS.
That's awesome.
So he retired, but what he did, he went and bought his own truck, and now he cut out the middleman. He gets the contract. So, you know, that's the thing that we want to make them understand. Hey, it's a lot of ways to get to the money or get to the bag, as they say, and you know, and be positive.
That's
Because they know
wonderful,
the one,
you all.
they
That
know the
is so
one thing.
wonderful.
One thing that I preach to them is life is about choices and decisions. And you're gonna always make different choices, different decisions. The same thing I taught my daughter. I want you to ask yourself before you make them, though, can you deal with the consequences of them? Because your mom is not going to have to deal with them. Your dad's not going to have to deal with that. That was your choice, and it was your decision. So ask yourself before you make it, can I deal with the consequences of this choice I'm about to make?
Hey, I like that, Johnny. There's a quote I got in one of my books that say, "Your decision creates your destination."
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hey, Mr. Bryant, so question real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. Question, Mr. Bryant. So to get the students into Drake, do they have to score a certain score on the LSAT? Had they got to take the LSAT? How does that work?
Well, you know, initially they got to have a 3.5 GPA.
Okay,
Now,
3.
I don't know. They just have to pass the LSAT after they've gotten to that point. Okay.
Yeah, because you know the LSAT, you know it's a certain score.
Law school aptitude examination. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
okay.
they got to take an LSAT before they go into law school. But of course, as long as they pass, because you never know what your LSAT score is. They don't give you the score. They just put pass or fail.
Oh, really? Because
yeah, that's how that
always knew what my score was. I took the LSAT before, and I got my score, and the school got my score.
Yeah, and you know that might have been a while. You know, I don't know.
It was a little while ago.
I don't know about that. I don't want to start talking about ladies and how long ago that was. You know, hey, I'm not gonna touch that. Look here, I tell you, we can just get them into school. We'll let them take it from there.
Okay, I was just asking. Thank you.
Don't try to get me in trouble with you.
No, I was just
Indeed.
asking.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so, wow, we just keep rolling.
Corey.
Go ahead, Miss Johnson.
Hey, Mr. Bryant.
Hey, how you doing?
My name is Miss Johnson. My son, part of his scholarship money came out of the 100 Black Men. He went on to Georgia Southern and became a civil engineer with a master in project management. And some of that scholarship money was through the 100 Black Man. And I thank God for that.
That is phenomenal. That is something that we certainly do. Like I stated, I'm actually the education committee chairman for the 100 Black Men of South Metro Atlanta. And that's our focal point. We got a very, very high success rate of kids that initially, when they sign up for some of our program, we got a program called Mirror 100, program called Rites of Passage, and we have Collegiate 100. Some of them have gone into the program. They're relatively, a little introverted, if you would. But when it's over with, we got a guy that graduated from our Rites of Passage. He, you don't see a program on BET unless he signed off on it anywhere. So there's a lot of kids that people had given up on, and we tell them, don't listen to what Ray and Puka said that what you can't do. You can do anything you decide you want to do. If you don't believe it, just reach out to brothers like Corey Reed and Tamika and some of and sisters like Kiki and what she's doing. She's doing what she's doing because a lot of those ladies that deal with recidivism and so forth, they feel like life is over with because they've done some time. She's telling them, hey, you know what? There are people that love you and believe in a second chance. So, look, as long as Brother Corey give us an opportunity where we can all collaborate like we are doing and reach one to teach one, how do you eat an elephant? Simply one bite at a time. We just keep doing what we're doing. And, we help the Swim Foundation. We help Johnny Clark. We help Miss Chandra. That's how we got to do it. You know why? Because what we got tonight is the epitome of a village. And that's what it takes.
And that's an absolute fact. And so as an elected official job, some call them politicians or our certain leaders, is to be an influence and connect people and organizations like what we're doing now and get this and walk away. Because y'all know y'all the subject matter experts, y'all do very well at what y'all do, and then we help y'all find the necessary funding to keep you going. Because the dream plus funding equals reality. That's it. Real simple equation. And I think we have a bandwidth of wealth right here, a bandwidth of impact right here, and it's right here in our community. So I love it. Who's the next one up? Y'all get me excited now.
I gotta give a testimonial real quick before the next person comes. Thank you for pointing out, Councilman Reeves, that you created this nonprofit cohort to help us find all these resources. They can go to your website, district, the number 5, mewe.org to see the different organizations and links to their websites. But my personal testimony is that I contacted Councilman Reeves to say, what are you doing in the community? Because I just started a nonprofit, and he asked me what was I doing. And fast forward to now, I now am his assistant. I have helped with bringing in the trade class. I have helped with working with all of you and getting to know everybody in the community, and it has definitely helped my organization move from getting a assistance of 2,500 to moving over to getting over 100,000 in grants from Fulton County this year. So I just want to say thank you very much to the community for your support, because part of this community call was part of the information I put into the grants for the assistance request for this homelessness and for the job training. So thank you all, and thank you, Councilman Reeves, for creating this platform.
Oh, absolutely. And let me say this too as well, is as we continue to grow, y'all get your grant writing game up, because see, we're going after things that's going to be effective to the city as well. Because we just need some grants, and I think we'll get them. All we have to do is write them, but it takes a team. So, and what's the worst thing you'll do? What's the worst thing you'll learn if you write a grant?
How to do it better the next time.
Amen. Amen.
Absolutely. And so, but however, so we just and the positive traction, because when we deal with housing, I mean, we also deal with housing choices and types, and those come in different um designs and concepts now. So where the municipalities or your elected official come in is just to make sure that the land use map makes way for those housing choices and types. As some of you may want to participate in those as well, but just pay attention to that municipality as the land use map if you have housing, and so make sure that it's something that is um, amenable to the community and to the elected, and so that you don't want to have hiccups when you have this grander idea and then go through changes for zoning and sometimes come out unsuccessful. So, and that's where your elected officials come in and help you out with. If you want to talk about housing in different areas and embedding within communities or start your own community. So, who do we have up next is to have a nonprofit? Anybody else?
Brother Reed, before you move forward, I just want to say one thing because I'm going to have to leave the call. I thank you for starting this. This has been an excellent thing. It actually pushed me to do some things. I kind of felt like you were talking about me with that grant writer thing. I felt that slap, but I'll take that slap. I'll take that slap because I'm in the midst of taking the class right now, learning myself. But I've got to get off this line. I've got to go. Another accomplishment of Alta is that we have been selected to become in the, I guess, the World Big Book of Who's Who. So I've got to call in and do my biography with them right quick. So I thank you all, and I hope to hear from some of you all. And Corey, I'll be talking to you. Thank you again, Tamika. You all have a great evening.
All right, and congratulations on that.
You too.
All right.
All right. And so, with 7 minutes left, anybody else? Anybody?
Well, we're gonna talk about the agenda. Is anything on the agenda that we need to know about tomorrow, Councilman? No.
Well, the zoning approval is up for 5510 Fairwood Place.
Okay. Is that for the council people to make the decision?
Yes.
Okay.
Last week, with the developer, he came out on site as the community said they didn't meet with him, as I believe he came to the site, and so we would be voting on that tomorrow, either to approve or deny.
Okay.
So that's the but this is too the call before the meeting. So let's say Monday. So I said, anybody want to chime in on that? Feel free. Do you see else on the agenda, James?
Okay. That's all I got. Okay.
Anybody else? That's all I got. We gonna wait and see what the vote gonna be.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So, does anybody want to bring anything else for the community?
It's Miss Johnson again. I need you to check on that, what's going on by that yellow house on Fairwood.
Absolutely. And I'm not sure if anybody else is aware in the Fairwood community. There was a body found at Fairwood Estates, and I'm waiting to get more information about that. I don't want y'all to come as a sticker shock. That was over the weekend. And the young man that got struck by the train on November the 8th was put to rest. That was Yolanda. That was her son. And people, if you're not familiar with Yolanda, she was the health healer. She had the watermelon juice, and so just lift her up in prayer, just as she's going through right now. But however, and pay attention to these legislations, because we are coming up on, as I know, I'm addressing these detention ponds. that is causing an issue throughout the entire city. And I believe there's between 30 to 40 that was left over by Fulton County that's maintained. But however, as these new subdivisions come in, as we can certainly require them to have a new design where it's actually less maintenance, but still aesthetically pleasing, as the grass growing and a fence around it being locked is just not suffice, as they must be in working order. And how do you tell that the detention pond is in working order? When it rains. And so it's not on the dry day. It's you'll never know, as you have to see how it flows. That's where the design will come in, because we had a couple of communities that the developer was seeking to get their money back, or the bond that they put up, and would try to rush to do a corrective action. However, it is on us, the city, to make sure that corrective action was corrected correctly, as the flow of the water must flow down and not, going to erode away. So there's a way that can be done, a sustainable way. And so I will be, well, let me just say this. I've talked about it, but I'm just go ahead and put it through the system. And so is that because time is far gone for that not to happen, because HOAs are responsible for them once the developer turns it over to the HOA. So, which leads me to next Monday night, we will be at the Crestwood Event Center down on Old National Highway. Go to my website and get the address, and the time of the event is from 6 to 8 p.m. And we're going to be talking about all of what's included. HOA. We have State Representative Mandisha A. Thomas. We have State Senator Donzella James, who led the charge about HOAs and the legislation that happens with them, because it is the state body that regulates HOAs. And then we have a young man who was with the Obama administration dealing with housing. So this is the GA Summit. And so it's going to be talking about housing regulations. You don't want to miss this event. That is where we will be next Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. And so let me see here. Does anybody have that flyer that they can post in the chat?
Yes, Corey, that's 6524 Highway 279, which is Old National Highway.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And so, as if you can post that in the chat, we'll take that.
Okay.
So y'all want to share that? Share it. But you might want to be there. You do want to be there, as it's going to be a power packed event. And so, and I think that most of y'all deal with housing here in y'all nonprofits. So y'all also want to, come. Is there's funding for the housing portion as well as your organization, but specifically for the housing fund portion, there's federal dollars available, and it's just sitting there because nobody goes after it. And so that's what is going to be happening live next Monday night.
I have a question. You said there's funding available. There's funding available for assistance with housing, or funding available for housing developments?
Both.
So
Now,
I have another question that might be a sidebar from this. If someone is interested in developing affordable housing in the city of South Fulton, is that still viable, and is assistance available for that?
From city standpoint, assistance?
Government standpoint assistance.
Oh, yes, government, absolutely. And so, as they'll get these tax credits, and so if they develop these affordable housing units, as I'm not for 100% affordable housing. I mean communities, right? As I think it should be mixed, and so because affordable is who can afford it.
Definitely.
And so think if they meet all price points, I think that's a community that can be well equipped to grow, not just from the economical standpoint, but from the mindset standpoint. And so, as they say, a village. And so, with as I say, I love everybody, but I don't think of everybody the same. And so, it's good to have those choices in that mix, as an eclectic mix, as you would definitely grow from your surroundings. And so, but there is, to answer your question, funding available from government.
Thank you.
Corey, this Miss Johnson again. Okay, so you know that over there in Riggery, so the people that have bought those houses over there, will there be funding for them of their property that is rotting away in the back there, that is near the cliff? Will there be funding for that?
Well, Ms. Johnson, we have a couple of communities like that: Flat Shoals Manor, Riggs Ridge. As that was a hill that was constructed. I know exactly what you're talking about. And so let me just say this: as of today, right now, I have not came across any funding for that I know about. However, we're still researching it out, because that's the component, is that to take that onus off of them. Because let's not forget, most HOAs are nonprofits. And so there are community grants through Lowe's, through Home Depot, through Ace, that can be, they can go after to have some issues corrected as well. So don't negate that fact neither. So it's like HOAs are nonprofits, and for community, and there are community grants even up to the federal level. That's why we're bringing the grant writing class. We brought that, and the grant management course is coming down in December. And so, is this for the average citizen, particularly anybody who is on an HOA board or thinking about running for one, or bringing that just to your HOA now? And so that's a caveat. Don't miss out on those opportunities. And so, just to put that in your ear. So, but yeah, you're gonna come and learn a lot. Come and learn a lot. And so we are definitely excited about it. And this, as we get ready to move the city forward, and also too, early voting is underway. You got tomorrow through Friday, and then of course next Tuesday. That's it. And so, as and on December 6th, the 5th district will still be rising, no matter what. And so it's like, because understand this, we have you, period. And so, and I love you. Y'all can't do nothing about it, but I thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time out of your day to join this call and get connected. And I just appreciate all of the organizations and what y'all do and what y'all bring to this community, because that's impact. That's what changes communities. That's what changes lives. That's what changes cities.
All right, this Miss McKee. I got on a little.
Go ahead, Miss McKee. I'm sorry. Lift. Go ahead. Tell us about you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right now, I'm dealing with a situation with a young lady. I think she's 20 or 21 with 2 children. We've been putting up in a hotel. And I know Tamika had mentioned a grant for 20-year-olds or something, 18 to 24, something like that. Because I need to find her some resources. She's homeless right now. She's staying with her aunt, but she really can't stay there. Last couple of weeks, she's been in a hotel with the 2 children.
Yes, you call you. Yeah, just Tarico. That's who she would come see.
Okay, ask Tamika. Send me her
Yeah.
information. I've been trying to reach Tamika earlier today, but I didn't reach her.
I thought they put a lot of that information in the chat too. You might want to look up in the chat a little bit. It's a lot of that information that was put in the chat as well.
Okay, but I have some specific questions I need to.
Oh, okay.
Miss McKee. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, and also I need to speak with Tamika. Yeah, in reference to the chili cook-off. I'm still trying to information for the vendor to become a vendor, I think, for this organization.
Okay. Just man.
So I
Absolutely.
gotta give me a call. I'm just a little tired. I've been out all day today, you guys.
Oh, I trust me, I understand. Absolutely.
And don't forget, one last thing, don't you all forget that we are having our K-9 memorial service tomorrow at 11 at World Changers.
Right. And
Yes.
so, absolutely.
Okay, you all have a blessed night. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed.
All right. And to all I say, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and enjoy this day.
Don't
As
forget to vote. Don't forget to vote.
rock the vote. Don't forget to vote. Please go vote. Please go back out and vote. Oh, let me just say,
Yes, please go back out to vote.
I don't care if you think you know the day to vote. Trust me. Go ask that person that you need to come back out and vote. And so there's only 1,200 people who voted on November 7th. The historical data says even less to come back out. I want us to defy logic. And let's get more people. And so and bring the awareness and that there is a special, that the 5th district election is not over, as you must go back out and vote or you'll be left with the consequences. And so whoever your choice is, make the right decision to go vote though. Period. As that is your inalienable right. And so in South Fulton, it matters more than you ever know. So however, ladies and gentlemen, I love y'all. Good night. And we will
Thank you.
talk
Good night.
to you.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.